When I get random requests to do a video, there is a YouTuber that gets mentioned a lot.
Kepler's second law destroyed by the moon. The moon isn't a planetary body. The moon is its own light.
Yes, that was Mr. Thrive and Survive, who today seems to have found evidence that the moon is not a planetary body. This is Flat Earth Friday. My name is Simon Dan. Let's get started. Welcome along everyone as we delve into the psyche of the opinionated, paranoid and uneducated elite for more Flat Earth Friday madness. Yes, today we look at a video by Mr. Thrive and Survive entitled "The Moon Destroys Kepler's Second Law." He's endorsing a video by a Dave Marsh, who was a long-time troll on my Facebook page. Both of these men are hardcore Flat Earthers. Before we begin, I think it would be appropriate just to make sure that we all understand Kepler's second law. It states, an imaginary line joining a planet and the sun sweeps out an equal area of space in equal amounts of time. Now, of course, this means the closer your orbit approaches the sun, the faster you will go. Take a look at this animation. If we take the points on the orbit indicated as equal segments of time along that orbit, then the areas swept out between each points are the same. This is established planetary physics. Right, let's see Mr. Thrive and Survive and Dave disprove 400-year-old science.
Hey everybody, Christmas with Thrive and Survive. September 13th, 2018. I'm once again referencing a video here today, which will be linked below, by David Marsh.
Dave Marsh is a guy that disproved gravity in an old video of mine.
And I'm not going to play all of his video. I'm going to play a portion of this video that applies to this. Please go and see the link below for all the details. We're going to show here, or he showed, and backed up with actual timeanddate.com and other websites, that his data match their data, and that data indicates that Kepler's second law of planetary motion is destroyed.
So to clarify, Dave Marsh spent a year tracking the moon and got the exact same data he would have got from timeanddate.com. Perhaps he got the idea from howtowasteayear.org.
And the conclusion is that either the moon isn't a planetary body, or Kepler's second law is just bunk, or both.
Sure, a regular guy from the UK with no scientific background whatsoever has disproved gravity, and now he's ruined Kepler's laws and debunked the moon. And then Mr. Thrive and Survive comes along and thinks he can all explain it all whilst having the intellectual capacity of an empty Marmite jar.
I don't know what else to say. You're going to see the evidence in this video, and it's only going to be probably about 10 or 15 minute video here. What you're looking at here is, let's go to this little diagram first. In fact, let me make it larger. See if I can move the other one out of the way. There we go. What we have here is that whatever the body is, we're going to switch this here because it works the same way. The Earth and the Moon. When the body is farthest away, or apogee, away from the object, the main gravitational thing, the orbiting thing here, and this has been supposedly verified with Jupiter's moons observations, and maybe that's how Kepler came up with it. I don't know, you can look up the history.
Kepler was a masterful mathematician. He figured out his laws with nothing but observation and maths. The observations he used were highly accurate, and the story of it all is for another video, but it was proven the moment he figured it out, because he used real-world observations. It is important to note though that you can't have Kepler's second law without his first, and that is that all planetary bodies travel in ellipses. There are no perfectly circular orbits. The closest is Venus, which has an eccentricity of 0.007, meaning its orbit is the closest to a perfect circle in the solar system. I shall be live streaming a lecture on the history of astronomy early next month.
But this blue shaded area indicates how slow the planet is moving, or how much it has moved. And let's say this is like 1 week period of time, since when it goes around in orbit it goes slower at its furthest away, and when it comes back in the same 1 week period it's moving all this much. So it's moving much faster as it gets closer.
At least Mr. Thrive and Survive has a grasp on the law, Please bear in mind though that the eccentricity of the orbit in his example is highly exaggerated.
Now let's look at the other. This is the same thing. You can pause this if you like and take a look at it. I'll leave it here for a couple seconds, but it's just another way of showing the exact same thing. And here it is with the Earth actually in the center. Same thing. You have apogee over here and perigee over here. Interesting too is the moon is supposed to be so much bigger in the sky at perigee, and another part of David's video, he also shows that it's much smaller at this time.
Interesting. Let's see what this research is then.
See, the moon just doesn't follow the heliocentric model. Now in his video, he does what he calls a moon race, and he filmed the moon when it was over the equator, when it was over the Tropic of Capricorn, and when it was over the Tropic of Cancer. And, well, I'll let it play, and then you can see for yourself how this moon race and what he discovered absolutely destroys Kepler's second law of planetary motion.
The moon on the equator took 5 minutes and 20 seconds to cross my screen. On the Tropic of Capricorn, it took 5 minutes 36. But on the Tropic of Cancer, it seemed to take forever. It took 6 minutes 15 seconds to cross my screen. Look at the time difference there. That's huge.
Dave, the fundamental problem you had when you were conducting this moon race is that you weren't conducting the speed of the moon in its orbit. You were tracking the Earth's rotational speed. This is an absolute classic example of a complete misunderstanding of how things actually work. Your bias, Dave, of a flat, motionless Earth means you have completely and utterly wrecked yourself. If you really wanted to track the orbital velocity of the moon, you would have had to track its motion against the stars in the background over the course of a night.
It's soul destroying. If I'd have had to wait for the sun to get in that position, I'd have had to wait quite a long time to to get in that exact same position. So as you can see on August the 5th, my reading, the moon took 24 hours and 49 minutes for the meridian passing time on that night for the moon to occupy the same spot. Then when the moon was on the equator, the moon took 24 hours 48 minutes. So it's speeding up when it's heading towards perigee. Remember, it speeded up when it was heading towards apogee. It can't speed up both directions. It's impossible.
Dear oh dear. Perhaps because you were measuring the Earth's rotation, Dave? Maybe?
According to Kepler's law of planetary motion and its equal area and equal time law, the moon should spend the first half of its cycle speeding up, with just a change in speed of around about 6%, and the same when it going back the opposite direction. It should never speed up going to and from apogee. That completely destroys Kepler's law.
This has to be one of the most epic fails I've ever seen, confusing the moon's orbital speed with Earth's rotation and then destroying Kepler's second law with the data.
It shouldn't do that. It's impossible. And you're probably thinking, yeah, but you could just put any of them readings on the screen yourself. You know what I mean? I've had to type them in there. Just give you a confirmation first. So when the moon was on the Tropic of Capricorn, it took 5 minutes and 36 seconds to cross my screen, and the meridian passing on that night was 24 hours and 49 minutes. When the moon was on the equator, it took less time, so it was speeding up, and it took 5 minutes 20 seconds, and the meridian passing on that night was 24 hours 48 minutes. It's matching up exactly what I'm shooting in reality. And you know, the moon took a long time to cross my screen. It took 6 minutes 15 seconds. Well, look at the meridian passing time on that night, 24 hours and 57 minutes. It's matching up exactly what I'm shooting in reality.
Globe Earth confirmed.
Although it speeds up in the globe model, from a globe Earth perspective, it should appear to slow down. So how can it speed up?
Yes, that's the real question. How can it speed up at both ends of the spectrum there? Kepler's second law destroyed by the moon. The moon isn't a planetary body. The moon is its own light.
And Thrive and Survive swallows it like Pie Man Dan at a pie eating contest. Ranty has got some real competition for Globe Earth proof. Dave Marsh has entered the arena. I'll link David's full video below where you can see the evidence for yourself. What a waste of a year. You might as well spent the time counting the hairs on your testicle. Right, that about wraps up another Flat Earth Friday. 2 more Flat Earthers sent packing. If you enjoyed that, please do like and subscribe. If you really enjoyed it, you can tap the little bell notification too. I have been Simon Dan, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all Tuesday where we investigate the individuals that say they've travelled through time. I'll see you all then.